We're talking about a documentary here called Everybody. It is about intersex people and how misunderstood they often are and how isolated they can feel in society and how much more prevalent this is than you may realize. It's directed by Julie Cohen, and Alonso is going to tell you about it.
I'm going to come out today. I'm going to tell the Texas Senate. I was born with balls.
Yeah, so Julie Cohen, who did the recent Julia Child documentary and the Pauli Murray documentary and the RBG documentary, this is a piece about the intersex community, mainly focusing on three people, Sean Saifa Wall, Alicia, Weigel, and River Gallo. And basically, intersex people are born with ambiguous genitalia and internal sex organs that may or may not match what people are, guessing about their gender based on externals. And for a very long time, doctors sort of focused on the outside and like, well, I guess it's a penis. We're going to raise this child as a boy. And then down the road, it gets complicated with people's lives. And so this is a medical topic that really only in the last couple of decades has anybody approached with any level of seriousness. And in fact, we sort of see what kind of official misinformation there was over the course of the decades based on this one guy and his very questionable studies. But so this is a movie that it's really a portrait of these three people who are all sort of activists and artists in their own ways, kind of getting the word out about the existence of intersex people and sort of trying to alert the medical community, alert parents about like, this is a thing that happens and you need to be more understanding of the mysteries of biology and how to, handle this and not just immediately like perform, invasive surgery on a newborn because you think that this is not the gender they're supposed to be. And obviously the existence of intersex people calls up larger issues about, the fluidity of gender itself and how much of a construct it is for people. And so this is a film that's trying to wrap its arms around a lot of stuff, but I think it's doing so pretty well. I think for people who have never heard the term before, they're going to come away with a real understanding of this. I thought it was also really, empathetic portrait of these people and the experiences they've had in their lives and how they're now sort of using their various platforms to address these issues in the medical establishment and letting parents know about it. So yeah, I'm glad this exists. It's great that it's coming out for the end of Pride. I assume it has a future down the road as an NBC News special or streaming thing or something, but for now Focus is putting it in theaters and people should check it out.
Yeah, it's a very straightforward film, which I thought was a little dry at first, but then I realized as it went along, like that was a really smart decision to make to let these folks' stories speak for themselves and to let the inherent drama and the humanity shine through, because it's a very personal topic and it's a very uncomfortable topic for a lot of people. And so I learned a lot. Like I didn't realize even that is what the I stands for in LGBTQIA+. Like I just never even thought about it. And so now if it does nothing else, if it just enlightens people about how prevalent this is, and how many variations are possible, like what they estimate is like at least 35 to 40 different kinds of possible combinations of like what your outside body looks like and what might be going on inside. And so I think it's a squishy topic for people to think about because they want to think about you. And it's easy to vilify people who live their lives this way, who were born this way and just do not have a choice.
Yeah, Cohen very shrewdly sort of bookends the film with these ridiculous gender reveal parties, which are such, I've always said the only person who should be having a gender reveal party is an adult for themselves. But if you're basically telling what all gender reveal parties are telling you is what your baby's genitals appear to be based on ultrasound. And that is not have anything to do with so many things, so many factors at play that could wind up happening. And so, yeah, I think that, I first learned about this because I have a friend who is intersex and actually wrote a book about her experiences. She was raised as a boy and then hit puberty and her breasts came in and they pumped her full of, testosterone and she wound up trying to kill herself. And much later in life, finally came to understand, who she was and what she was about. And she wrote a book about this, so I'm not telling tales out of school. But for the most part, it's not a very discussed topic. And so I'm glad this movie is out there and will be a resource for people, for new parents maybe who find themselves in this situation and don't know what to do next, and maybe aren't sure if their doctor even has the most sort of up-to-date standards about this kind of stuff. So, I think this is a movie that could literally change lives.
Yeah. And Alicia Weigel in particular, I think, is a very effective advocate because she's super cute, blonde hair, blue eyes, super perky, and is a great confident speaker. And she lives in Texas.
Yeah.
And has addressed the legislature there many times and has said, I have male genitalia. Should I go to the bathroom in the boys' bathroom? I think putting it in those kinds of simple terms will maybe help people understand this a little bit better.
And because she clearly has a career in politics, she's very good at kind of boiling these things down. So she's talking to these Austin council people, and she's like, so this legislation that they want to pass in Texas, bars, trans kids from this therapy, which they don't even do anyway, because they don't do this specific kind of therapy until later in life. But at the same time, forces that same therapy onto intersex kids without them having the option to say no, And so it's just, I think it really spells things out in a way that anybody can come away from this movie and be like, oh, okay, I think I have a better understanding of what this is about and why this isn't really an important issue.
For sure. And there are some horrifying anecdotes here. Just be warned. There's some really disturbing stuff that we learn about here. But then the ending is really upbeat in kind of a playfully goofy way that is a really necessary palate cleanser.
Yes, I think so. They know how to leave you. You'll leave the theater in a good mood.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Julie. She's just really a great, cool woman and very much herself. So I applaud you, Julie, for making this movie. So what's your number, Alonso?
I'll say an 8.5.
Okay, I will say an 8. Yeah, it's real good. So it's in theaters now. And as you said, hopefully it'll be streaming one of these days soon.